Hello, and welcome to Beast Fables, a role-playing game show that follows the lives of tiny beasts in a massive world. This episode, we dive into Chapter 12, Road to Bramblefork. I'm Brian, and I'll be your narrator for today's game. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the founder of Dungeons on a Dime, a publishing imprint creating entry-level tabletop role-playing game content. I wrote the Adventures on a Dime system we're playing with today, and I have got something really cool to show you after a little introduction and let you know about. However, most importantly, I am joined today by Atlanta, Fraser, and Ver, three talented illustrators and delightful beasts. Today we're going to be playing the Adventure on a Dime system, a role-playing game that I designed. You can get it on Roll20. They are our sponsors for today's show. Roll20 is an easy-to-use tabletop virtual thing. You can put music on it, you can chat, you got little bubbles and stuff. You can go to character sheets. The whole Adventures on a Dime system is there. You can roll stuff like Balthazar's Cunning and get a 4.
Wow.
And it tells you what you get.
Can I hold that for later? Can I take that for later, please?
I feel like this should become a tradition. We roll a cunning and then it's does Balthazar know what's going on today?
Yeah. You always do Balthazar's Cunning, which just has the probability of failure is so high.
I always do Balthazar's Cunning because it's always fun.
It is. But I guess, this could be sorry to interrupt, but this could be does Balthazar know what's going on? Scale for the day. Yeah.
So Chronicles says Balthazar knows what's happening. But speaking of Balthazar, let's introduce who's playing with us today. I've introduced myself, I'm Brian. So next up we have got Ver.
Hello, I am Ver. I am an illustrator and comic artist, and I use they, them pronouns. In today's game, I play the aforementioned Balthazar, a toad knight hailing from Blueberry Pond, who is boisterous and brave, and as you can clearly see, not very cunning, though he seems to be on top of things today.
He has his moments. So, next up we have got Pipistrel. Who is Atlanta.
Hello. Who's also Atlanta. Either or is fine. I will respond to anything. Hello, I am Atlanta. I use she, her pronouns. I am also a illustrator-y, creative-y, that's not a word, type person. And I am also playing Pipistrel the Bat, our intrepid, sweet, but slightly nosy little bat friend. And yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said Schmeat.
Schmeat.
Oh no.
I did not, but I wish I had.
And moving on from the conglomerate that is Atlanta to Fraser. Fraser, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Fraser. I go by he, him pronouns. So, today I am playing Lotson Ten Whiskers. I almost forgot his name there. He is a craft paw rat, the curious and somewhat clueless little pal who makes things that shouldn't work. And we are on our adventure to Bramblefork. Myself, I am also an illustrator, arty, creative person. And we're ready to play some Beast Fables.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we start, I just want to show off something real cool.
Oh, do it.
We have been playing Adventures on a Dime. However, we've also been using an extra subsystem called Vice and Virtue to help shape the story and the narrative that's going on. It's been really fun to play, and it is now on Kickstarter. Actually, it's on the Kickstarter. If I go to the right page, you can now sign up to see what it's going to look like before it goes up. You can notify for launch. You can't sign up to your own project notifications. That's dumb. I think you should be able to. So you can see what's happening. And also, if you go to the DOAD YouTube, you can see a little trailer and an explanation of how the system works, how we've been playing it, and an overview of what the rewards will be on the Kickstarter as well, which is cool. But that's here. It's happening.
Hell yeah. It's a really, really great add-on system. We've been having a lot of fun with it, both in this game and Atlanta and I and Brian. We had been playing a campaign previously where I think it was purely to test Vice and Virtue, wasn't it?
It was just to test it. And then I was like, actually, I love playing with you guys and it's so much fun and I can't stop.
Yeah, but
Basically.
it's been a fantastic system that has brought a lot of excitement and fear for us players. So any DM should be very keen on picking this up.
Absolutely. It makes each scene actually feel like very sort of tangible, and like, you know, the way it changes how you feel about how you progress with these stories and fortunes in mind is fun and interesting and good, and everyone should try it.
Now I'm just doing a little bit cleanup on sketches from last session for more room for more sketches this session.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
Also, I don't know who drew that candle, but cute.
I drew the candle. That was
Yay.
because I was thinking, like, you know how you have like a light bulb moment.
Oh my god.
Light
Candle
bulbs have
moment.
not been invented yet, so like I was like, Ludson has candle moments. So he's like, the candle has been lit in my brain.
Or like little glowfly,
Yes!
glow, whatever they're called, not glowworm.
I
I
think they
guess
are
that
actually
works.
called
Icky
glowworms.
Lucky.
Icky
Icky
lucky.
lucky.
Yeah,
That's
but-
not a glow. That's not a glowworm though. It's a
Firefly.
Oh,
firefly.
Firefly.
I was like,
no,
I was like
they are
light bulb, but
they are called glowworms in the UK. They are they're not actually
Really?
fireflies. Yeah, the UK ones. If you look up glowworm,
but they're
they
not a worm.
that's them because we don't.
I think it's because they can't fly.
I say as an immigrant, but whatever. We don't have like fireflies here.
Wow.
Yeah,
The more you know.
Also, it doesn't matter that you're an immigrant because you are Scottish and you live here and we love you and you're great.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
you are Scotland.
You are Scotland.
You are Scotland. We are all Scotland.
You are
You're
always
Scotland.
welcome. And I say this
That's all
as
of us.
a dirty Englishman who moved here and has been living here for
Same.
like over 2 years now. I'm Scottish. I love being
What? I've
here.
been living in Scotland longer than you. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've been here for almost 4 years.
Crazy.
Maybe 5?
Wow.
I don't remember now. It's
You
been
qualify
so long.
for, if you've not had a BA degree, which I probably think you have, you qualify for like free education. 3
yeah.
years.
Damn.
I'm too stupid.
I've
Wilbur,
been
that's
here
not
for
true.
23 years.
You're finally smart enough also to qualify for free education.
Anyway,
See, I need 20 more years to get there.
bringing it back on track. I'm just imagining a baby at university. I feel like that's
Oh,
probably going to be some
Oh.
dumb Hallmark video. Baby university.
It's like Boss Baby, but like Uni Baby. No, sorry, moving on. Sorry.
Moving on.
Moving on swiftly,
Ver, do you want to bring us back on track with
please.
a summary of what happened last session?
Yes, very fittingly coming off of the topic of that I'm stupid and can't go to university. But I can do recaps of fictional stories because that I'm somewhat good at. So last time, we pretty much, oh god, because we have like 2 sessions that were kind of just a chunk of a day. They weren't even a full day. So I'm just trying to kind of get my bearings here. There was a terrible meadow fire that had overtaken an area around Willowmoot. We had, during the course of this fire, we had rescued a coltit, a little songbird, that was part of a group of thieves or scoundrels that had stolen Lutson's invention of the iron beetle. And the moment that they managed to get it to work, they had fled the scene as the flames of a meadow fire, started by Lutson himself, not that the rest of us know about it, had started engulfing the area around us, quickly taking to the dry grasslands and sweeping towards Willowmoot itself. And as we decided to flee and help other people caught in the flames, we, as mentioned, decided to also take this coltid who had been knocked out over the course of the altercation with this kind of group of thieves. And after we returned to Willowmoot and had a chance to speak with some people that we helped, we decided to check on this coltid as we figured that they will probably be in a field hospital that had been set out as a kind of emergency effort in Willowmoot to help those that had been hurt by the flames or trying to escape them. We got to this field hospital and we knew the name of this cultist as Crier. However, when we conversed with the with this badger that was kind of it had this administrative role and was kind of taking notes and seeing who's admitted and who needs to be checked out, he said that this bird is actually called Mikhail. And when we approached Mikhail, he was a little kind of defensive, not really wanting to talk with us. We were adversaries for all intents and purposes. However, Balthazar kind of opened up with this very, very friendly demeanor, and Mikhail was fine speaking with us. Balthazar mentioned his knightly honor of saving someone who was in a situation where otherwise they would probably perish in those flames, and that's why he kind of explained himself, well, that's why I saved you from that fire. And the note of this knightly honor seemed to pique Mikhail's interest. And he was well enough to walk and leave the hospital and asked if we could go somewhere to talk, because he presumed that there's things we want to know. We found a place kind of overseeing the site of a previous fire in Willowmoot, now slowly starting to regrow with little buds of green sticking out of the burnt down ground. And we had a chance to speak with Mikhail, and he revealed to us that he himself was a knight from lands very, very far to the south. It took him, I think, well over a month, 2 months, I want to say, to fly all the way up here to the Bristly Woods, as whatever has been happening in the south has been rather dire. His circle of knights was kind of succumbed to some kind of disbanding after
he mentioned
the regent...
that his queen had died.
Yeah, I was just going to say that their regent died. I was just getting there.
Oh, sorry.
After the regent, their queen died, and that just kind of a lot of the knights, a lot of the worst aspects of them kind of came forth, and he just didn't want to be part of any of that anymore. And he thought there was also... I understand that he was also escaping famine from where he lived, and he thought that the North will bring better opportunities. However, he came to these lands and realized that they're war-torn after the Boer Wars that had finished just before we started our game, so very recently. And he found himself in the town, it was Bramblefork, correct? Where he actually found himself begging on the street, if I'm not mistaken. And it is there that the character of Chipper, the squirrel, who apparently herself calls herself Nuts, found him and offered him a job in exchange for which he would be given food that would last him through the winter. And she kind of chose him because he fit in with the other cultists. He wasn't part of whatever this local crew was, apparently. And he didn't consider them friends or even allies, it seems, as he was not surprised that they left him behind after our own encounter with them. And upon kind of revealing his situation here, how he was kind of driven to this particular lifestyle because of just the necessity of survival, he explained himself and then turned to us and asked, well, what do we intend to do with him? Do we intend to execute him or bestow some kind of punishment? To which our characters reacted with astonishment and almost outrage, as we don't really know how the lands in the south go about these things, but it seems in a much more dire manner than the Bristleywoods do. Mm-hmm. As after we heard the story of Mikhail, or Sir Sobs, as he was once known, we decided that this is a chance for him to turn a new page. And Pipistrel suggested that maybe he could pursue working with with one of the messenger guilds, whereas Balthazar suggested that if he would like to seek out knights who do uphold more virtuous values, that he could go to Blueberry Pond, where surely they would be very happy to aid him. Kind of Balthazar himself musing that a flying knight of Blueberry Pond would be a first, but surely a wonderful step forward. And in making sure that he can pursue whatever it is that he would like, we decided to find the representatives of the Seed Sprout Bank, some people who have been here in Willowmoot and providing this kind of aid to the locals by providing or by sharing their stores of grain with them. We had a few bottles of cider that we had gotten as thanks from a beast that we helped during the fires, or whose children we helped during the fires, and we decided to trade them in for some grain to tide Mikhail over during his journeys. We met a lizard, barley, and I don't remember the name of the bird. It was a species I've never heard of, but Capercaillie, yes, which I had to look up during the game, and it's kind of like a turkey. A Capercaillie. So we kind of met these two people from this very quite prominent guild, or well-off guild. Managed to barter for some grain. Get into some. Well, Pipistrel bartered for grain, while the two dum-dums were arguing about things that didn't really matter. And we managed to secure these provisions for Mikhail, give them to him, and then he asked us, well, what are we going to do? Because he wasn't really interested in pursuing any kind of vengeance or comeuppance with Chipper. He just wanted to leave that behind and move on. Well, we decided that while it will be a detour from our intended route to Odok, that we would like to see why Chipper was tasked with stealing this iron beetle. As I forgot to mention that we learned from Mikhail that a person named let me double check real quick. Grainpaw? Yeep Grainpaw. Yes, a person named Yeep Grainpaw apparently hired her to take this iron beetle, and this is a creation of Lutzon's. Lutzon doesn't know this person, so we are full of suspicion and wanting to kind of get down to the truth of this matter and who this is and what they intend with the iron beetle. As we decided to alter our course, rather than go to Odok, we want to now pursue a path to Bramblefork, from where Mikhail showed us a place where Chipper keeps her secret diary, from which we could learn more about what it is that she is up to and perhaps who this Yeep Grainpaw is.
That is a very expert summary. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I am like, round of applause. That was phenomenal. My little baby brain can hold like 3 bits of information at a time, and right now I'm focusing on holding a pencil. So like...
Well, you got 2 more things, so hopefully that'll be role-playing as Lutzon and listening to Brian.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the question I have for y'all is, you are heading out of the, we shall say this, on the South Road, because you said you want to travel by road, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want to run into any snakes or...
No more logs.
You mean moving logs?
Yes, no more moving logs, please.
Yeah.
So I'm going to draw your route on the map in red that you want to take.
I'll move my...
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah, because we're going to go through Aspen Grace, get to Bramblefork, and then we have to kind of cross-country it to where Chipper said the book was.
Yeah, because if we went straight here... hang on, let me do... no snapping. If we went straight here, the river might prove a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not for me, I'm amphibious, but y'all
you also wear
landlubbers,
plate mail, so...
I'm very strong. Well, no,
Like-
see, I can hold my breath and I just walk on the bottom.
See, that's what I was gonna say. Balthazar just
Yeah.
walks along the bottom of the
God.
river.
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean, you know, when like all the zombies are walking
Yes!
along the that's great.
seafloor.
Honestly, sorry, this is
Great
a
scene.
huge digression, but imagine a like huge knot of toad knights that just walk out of the water,
Infiltrating
Like
through the
Terminator.
water.
No, just
That's like a-
Terminator style. Like they can move their troops through water.
That's a battle scene. Like if there's a grand battle at some point, that has to be.
They're like the reinforcements. Like
Oh
they
my
just
God.
walk out of the water.
They are the
It's sort of
cavalry.
like anticlimactic and then climactic. Like there's like just a whole troop and they just walk into the lake and then like the lake is just still. And then like the next scene is them walking out the other side of the lake and they're just covered in like bits of like pond scum and lake bits and rocks
Oh,
and
no.
mud and they're just like
Ryan, you're ruining the
see-
visual.
No, they make the mud. They put like war paint on their faces.
This is what I
And
mean.
they-
Like they come out like they're some kind of
Yeah.
like tidal warrior. Just like they don't even look
Yeah.
like round boys anymore. They just look like mud death.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
the mud. Yeah, that's what that special squadron is called, the Mud Deaths.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we've just done an accidental little bit of world building.
Yeah,
Wait,
get it.
no, I like Mud Fury better.
Oh,
Mud-
Mud Furies! The Mud Furies!
Fury.
Yes! Oh god, I
That's
want to
the
draw
one.
some Mud Furies now. Anyway,
So-
that was a
yeah.
huge digression.
Okay, so-
Your little
this
mosey
has
along
been
the
a
road.
repeating pattern today.
Yeah. We keep
While I
distracting
stick
ourselves.
this into the world building document that we have, because Mud Furies is for sure staying, could someone, please, tell me what you wish to do? How do you like to travel? Describe what your route is going to look like. Like, tell me what's happening.
Okay. Well, we have this map, correct?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I reckon it's probably just a case of we'll start heading down that first bit of road. And like, did we? What time of day was it when we left off last session? Are we kind of moving
about
up in the
11 a.m..
morning? Yeah. Okay. So we're kind of setting off mid-morning ish,
Mhm.
late morning ish.
This is fair. We have enough resources and things. Like we've got enough provisions. We've got enough like. Does Pip need any more like poultice and bandages and things? Like.
Probably.
Actually, about provisions. Do we want to maybe trade in some more
we have to go
bottles
back to him, do
for? Well, Balthazar wants to keep at least 2.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we can
Well,
get,
I still have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually have to modify because I don't have the sack of oats anymore because that's for our boy. So I feel like we could have trade in 2, because that's going to be. One of them was 3 days food for the 3 of us.
Mm-hmm.
So we could have provisions for 6 days.
True.
And I
Well, I do have trail mix and a bag of oats still.
Yeah, I have trail mix and candied aphids as well still.
Ooh.
I
as a
will
little
throw a ruling in
treat.
here. The slot that occupies is packed lunch, so each of those is 1 meal for 1 person.
Yeah.
Is that the bag of oats and the carried items, or is that standard gear? Sorry.
Wait, why have you got a bag of... Oh! You grabbed a bag of oats from your old rooms, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
would say a bag of oats is equivalent to a day's food for all 3 of you then.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, do we want to get more?
And that's in your carried items. I'm just going to check.
Mm-hmm.
And we could, because I don't think we need to roleplay the entire scene. We could just decide to cash in 2
Yeah,
bottles of cider
yeah.
for
Yeah, that's good.
You
provisions.
can totally,
I think that's-
just cash that in.
Yeah, I think that's probably a smart idea, just so we don't
Yeah.
sort of have to don't have to like keep foraging and stuff
Yeah.
along the route.
Could I write it down as provisions for long journey?
Mm-hmm.
Just to have it like you know, like
Noted.
not just like, oh, this is exactly 6 days, and after that we start starving. It's just like
Yeah.
we can
That's fine.
undergo a long journey,
Mhm.
such as a few days of walking until it
Also,
runs out.
As a reminder, carried items is what you can carry comfortably. You can carry more than that. It's just that there will be some kind of narrative implication to that. So it might be like, oh, you've got a big bag of oats, and each time you want to go into a fight, you want to go crawling down a hole, you've got to drop it and leave it behind, or, stash it somewhere. Because it's not going to fit on your person. Or if you are, then I'm going to be like, so you're lugging this big bag of oats through this dangerous cave or something like that.
Well, because I can carry 8 items, because I'm a big sturdy boy. Well, I'm a small sturdy boy. I'm gonna be big one day. So if I have the provisions, can it be assumed that I can carry them without an issue? I was carrying 6 bottles of cider earlier. I feel this sack of grain is a weapon.
This is what
in
I
my
mean.
hands.
Like, you were carrying 6 bottles of cider comfortably. You could carry more, but then it becomes like you've got a big crate and you're lugging it around.
Okay, sorry. I thought it was. I thought regardless of our ability, how many things we can carry, that the bulk of it will matter here. But sorry,
No.
I was arguing for
like,
something I didn't realize I don't have to argue for.
Yeah. I am with you on this. I'm letting you have more than is on the sheet. Well, I'm not letting you. Like, the rules are you can carry more. We'll just have to discuss what that looks like.
Of course.
It's all within logic. Like, you could have carried 6 bottles, and that was like the limit of your like, that's my backpack full. And then it could be like, well, you have to have a second satchel, but like that'll be bulky and stuff. But anyway,
Of course. Understood.
So do you want to go and trade in bottles for oats?
Yeah. Well, I honestly already wrote it down in my inventory.
Okay,
I
cool.
just made that decision after. Yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine.
And then we're left with 2 bottles of cider.
Yes.
We
So
have enough
Balthasar
for
has 1 bottle, and
I've got one as well.
awesome, cool. Yeah, I'd say provisions is 1 carried item then. But that's like oats because it's a big bag of oats, but it still fits in 2 of your hands, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like, because Balthazar has the mess kit and everything, so he's basically being the Samwise Gamgee here. Like, he has a big kind of bag with a bunch of pots and stuff. And
I also feel like maybe, what is one of your skills, I swear, is taking care of equipment. Like, this is full squire duty for you.
Yeah, this is good old days.
Okay, so you are walking out of the south of Willamute, and I'm just gonna clicky clue. Blam. There.
Where?
Hang on, I'm gonna shift click.
My thing open.
This is a pro
my
roll
character
20
sheet open.
thing. Drag that screen over. And it is a warm morning. You're seeing here that what I wrote here with this kind of brown scratched out areas where that wildfire was. The one that was caused most recently. I'm also going to draw another area here. You can see that the south of Willamute as well is also scorched. This is the old wildfire from 2 weeks ago. And I just so happened to draw it in the shape of a toad.
Toad shit.
Yeah, friendship.
It was the Mud Furies.
And so you can see that as you're coming down the hill of Willamute, because Willamute is at the top of a hill overlooking a lot of the area around here, and you can see that Aspen Grace is at the top of another hill in the distance. You can see that both sides of Willamute now are kind of flanked by this sort of black charred earth, but as you're passing through the south and some of it goes over the road, you notice that there is the occasional shoot of green struggling out in the warm late summer sun. Some of the ground here is regrowing and renewing. The air is dry, but the path is clear. I would like you guys to make vigor checks for me to see what kind of marching pace you're at. Because I'm presuming you're walking on the road, you're making good time. We're just going to see how it goes. Nothing bad would come out of this roll.
You say that, however. I know you're lying.
Oh!
Well, with a
Hello,
critical success
everyone.
and 2 successes, I think we're fine.
Did we get there already? Are we in Bramble? Are we there yet?
You sneeze, and then you're in Bramblefork. Like, you let out a really big
you
fart,
saying-
and you just, woo, shortcut.
But, you said there's no magic, but does Lotson has he just unlocked Blink?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Lutson is now a wizard.
Yes.
I mean,
add a new job to your character sheet.
Artificer, if anything.
So I'm gonna say, Balthazar, you, because you were drumming out a lovely little beat with those cold tits before. Maybe you've set like a marching pace or something, and you just sort of vibe with me here.
Hell yeah.
Like, you just keep the pace.
I think because he's wearing his armor to make room for all that grain in his sack, and I think he's drumming out a beat and kind of whistling, and because he's in a good mood after we helped Mikhail, because that was a very nice thing to do. And maybe just kind of as, because I know that we rolled vigor, not willpower, but as an expression of that he is a kind of personable boy, he just puts it just puts everybody in like a pretty good mood, and it's just easy going. And despite our tiredness after, the events of the last few days, we find ourselves, especially maybe moving away from everything that happened in Willowmoot and in a new direction, kind of refreshed and energized, and there's a little bit of that excitement and anticipation of seeing that wider world and whatever this secret may be, unraveling it, and getting to whatever kind of truth awaits is in some way exciting in this moment.
So, I'm going to say, Balthazar, increase your willpower by 1 step, even if it goes over your maximum.
Yay!
Oh.
Or your base.
Yeah, well, now it gets to go back to a D12, because I did it was diminished. Yeah, it was diminished.
Yeah, your base is a D12. Yeah, it can't go any higher. Oh my God. But he's a very, very charismatic toad.
Oh.
But you're just feeling really good, and you're just feeling all of that energy, and it's kind of radiating off of you. I'm going to say a few hours pass, kind of hiking along the trail, and you make it to a bridge. I just drew on the map again by accident. Hang on. Here. Over a little stream, and you can see that across the stream there's the shadow of the larger aspect of the Bristly Woods, because this whole area is the Bristly Woods, but this is the largest part, and you know that it goes much further south and to the west as well. And as you are crossing over the bridge, you see a mole who is crossing from the other direction, and he is hiking over. And he gives you a little cheery wave. He has a little silver snout and a big bag that's jangling as he walks very merrily along.
Oh, Balthazar will definitely wave back at him.
Yeah, I think Lotson's interest has been piqued at the jangling. His kind of ears twitch a little bit and kind of like, what kind of trinkets is he carrying? Or are they carrying?
Pip would wave too, definitely.
So you all wave, and he goes over and he goes, "Oh, hello guys, how are you doing today?"
Not too bad, not too bad. We're just on our way to... where are we going again? And he's going to kind of check the map again and just kind of nestle his snout into the map.
Which Balthazar is holding.
Yeah.
So you're just like over... your chin is resting on Balthazar's head.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
I'm totally getting this vibe that there's a Balthazar here, and then there's just sort of like an arc of snoot.
Yep, a shadow.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Balthazar will say, first stop will be Aspen Grace, and after that, Bramblefork.
That's where we're heading.
You notice that he's going on the path up towards Willowmoot, because that's where the bridge leads, is the only real road. And he kind of pauses and he scratches his long snout. And he goes, "Did you say Bramblefork?"
Yes, we're sort of looking for somebody, and apparently they can be found in Bramblefork.
Oh, who are you looking for? I know a few folks in the fork.
Well, we're trying to find somebody. If anybody wants to stop Balthazar, please feel free to. We're trying to find somebody called Yeep Grainpaw.
We've never met them before, but apparently they live close by.
Yes, and apparently they're quite interested in the wondrous inventions that my friend Lotson makes here.
Okay.
Oh, you're too kind, Balthazar.
And he kind of pauses, and his little dark eyes kind of squint at you, and he goes, I don't know a yeep, but I do know a carrot.
A carrot Grainpaw?
Carrot Grainpaw?
Oh, no, not a grainpaw, just carrot. He's a mole like me, does a lot of digging. Tell you what, do me a favour, would you take a little something to him?
Well,
yes, of course.
Unless
if
it's
you're
very
passing by. And he kind of he kind of puts his large backpack down with a jangle, and he roots around inside for a moment.
Does he open the bag up quite fully? Because
he kind of like opens the flap up. Do you want to make a cunning roll? Or describe how you're kind of ogling.
Well, I'm trying to think how he's not like sticking his nose in there, not exactly, but just kind of, up on his tippy toes, using his tail to kind of like balance a little bit and just like peer in and see what's there.
Make a cunning roll for me.
Lovely.
Such a nosy boy.
Oh no.
Complication.
Wait, what are our virtues and stuff right now? Sorry, I'm just double checking real quick.
Yeah.
So your virtues and
no,
your vices.
I can only out of self.
Yeah.
Same.
Ha.
And lots of the other one you can auto other. This is part of the vice and virtue system, by the way. We decide the character's bearings at the end of each scene, and that gives them a little bonus they can use to reinforce how they resolve conflict in the next scene. So right now, Balthazar and Pipistrel are vice, they act in the moment, and Lutzen is virtue. He takes a step back and considers all the information. Moving back to our little bridge scene, with the complication, name something that Lutzen would be absolutely fascinated by.
I think anything kind of metallic or because I say like metal's not exactly well, or is metal well found in the kind of
it's
Beast Fables world?
expensive.
Yeah.
It's not completely
anything
unavailable, but like people would make nails and they make houses out of wood and they make like the wooden houses with joints. They don't use nails and screws and stuff like that. Like it's not something that's just disposable, but it's equally not unobtainable.
Yeah, okay. I think more like just trinkets then. So if it's just like fixings and food and stuff, but like if you heard like, I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking of like an alarm clock, kind of that distinct like jingling of the little hammer and bell. Just I don't know.
Here's an idea. You see a music box.
You
see, you recognise it. It's a crank music box that doesn't look like it would play music to someone who's never seen one before. But you know that the pins of the wheel will jangle on a keyboard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like a thumb piano. And the complication here is that you immediately go, a music box.
Whoops.
Yep.
Aww.
And this mole fishes out a very battered-looking letter, and he kind of looks at you as you go, a music box. He goes, oh yes, I've got all sorts of goodies in here. This is to my friend Carol. It's from Shayla. And he kind of hands it over.
Aww.
He says, make sure that you make sure he gets it. Very important. But I'm not going this way for a while. Thought maybe you could fish it over. Don't look inside. It's private, mind you.
Oh, of course
yes,
not.
Of course.
You see,
that would be most dishonorable.
Oh, of course. And he kind of looks at his bag and he kind of stretches his back a little bit. And he's quite bent over because he's a mole and his big paws just sort of stretching. He says, I mean, I wouldn't ask you to do this for free. Would you help me lighten my load a little?
Oh, well, of course. Do you happen to be parting with the music box there at all?
Well, the music box, it's a bit dear. But I've got all sorts in here, little pretties. I'll trade for the music box.
Oh, well
plus the job.
Of course. Lutzen's just going to start wrangling through his little pack of like things and just.
Lutzen also takes his pack off and starts jangling around inside.
Yeah. It's a mirror.
So what do you want to try and trade him?
Oh, I think in kind of pawing through his bag and his gear and things, he's going to kind of come across like his roll of stripped ivy and like the oil can and stuff, and kind of in his mind just like, no, this is still useful. This is kind of something that's good for an adventure. But then kind of reaching towards the bottom of his bag, finds the assorted lenses.
Ooh.
And I think in pawing them and the kind of damage that they had done that only Lutzen really knows about in accidentally setting the fire in the field of Willamute or the meadow, I think that's something he would try and offer first.
That is interesting. So you take out these lenses and the mole squints a little bit and then realizes what they are and goes, oh, Oh, that's something fine, that is. I've not seen glass that fine cut in a while.
Yes.
It's a hard
This does
trade,
have
but
rather
I'll do it.
unique properties.
Of course. Oh, my old mate has got a set of glasses like that. You little lenses he pops on his face, and he can see for miles if he has it in the right little configuration. Give him it. He kind of takes out the music box, which is it's copper with a dark stained wooden handle. It's finely made, but looks a little stressed or distressed.
Well loved. Hopefully.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. Well, lots of them will kind of pass over the lenses. We never really figured out how many there were, did we?
We just said like assorted lenses. I was thinking of it sort of like there's 2 or 3 lenses as a sort of like a large block they're set in.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll kind of pass them over and see.
So just trade on your character sheets, swap out assorted lenses for music box.
Let's not kind of say, is it all of the lenses that you're after, do you think?
Could you repeat that?
Sorry? Kind of like, is it all of the lenses? If they're all kind of, or they're all set in the frame, did you say?
I'd say like they're set in the same frame, but he'd want all of the lenses for the trade.
Yeah, that's fair. Okie dokie.
And he goes, well, this is... I do have to be on my way. I've got a lot of distance to travel. But you make sure Carol gets that there letter and have a good one.
Does Carol live in Bramblefork?
Oh, yes, it's not a big town. Just ask around for Carrod. He's a mole like me. He's got brown whiskers, brown snout. He wears a red bandana, or likes to, at least last time I saw him.
Cool.
All right, we'll keep an eye and an ear out.
Fantastic. Well, you have as a lovely days, all right?
We most certainly will.
Thank you very much.
And he kind of
Safe travels, friend.
He straps his bag back together and slaps it on his back and sort of starts going. And he kind of waves as he turns around. Goodbye now. And he kind of.
Oh, I think as he's waving, Lutzen will be like, and may your whiskers to the wind.
Oh, yes.
And he's got a good little spring in his step, and as he's kind of hiking along the path towards Willowmoot. Okay.
That's cute.
What is it that you have there, Lutzen? A box of music? I've never heard of such a thing.
Oh no, not quite. But and he's kind of is it? Did you say it's a thumb piano or is it one of the turning ones?
Well, that's like how it works. Is like it's a thumb piano with like the metal.
With the dial, the kind of cog.
Yeah, so you turn the thing and it moves it rotates the drum, and the drum's got the pins on it that then pluck the thumb piano. Like it's a music box.
Yeah. And he'll kind of like open it up and just kind of and lean it down towards Balthazar and say, "Oh, I think you'll like this. I think you'll like it." And we'll just start kind of turning it and ding 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 ding.
So it's like a happy and jaunty tune then.
Oh.
Yeah,
so
I think so.
Cool. Yeah, it seems like a very happy and jaunty tune, and after about a minute of playing, it repeats.
Balthazar's eyes, because he has like the weird horizontal pupils, they just start growing and growing, like a weird 90-degree turned like cat eyes. Basically, they become very, very big, and he just like. It gets to it starts looping again, and he's just been staring at it with like an open mouth, and then he kind of like jolts to such. That's incredible! We have to find more of these. I must bring them to Blueberry Pond. Oh, this is amazing! It's music in a box.
That's so cute. I think Pit would like she will have seen things like this in Odok in the markets, like sold as luxury items, because obviously they're quite intricate to make, and you need metal to make them and that kind of thing. But she's really enchanted with like the little tune and everything, because like something that she obviously hasn't really been able to indulge in since she's been on this adventure. It's like she also loves music and dancing, and bats are known for their sort of festivals and parties and things like that. And they have like a weird way of dancing where they fly and things like that. And you can sort of see her little, like, she can see her sort of like furling and unfurling her wings slightly, listening to the music. And she looks at Balthazar. It's like, I know that we're heading towards Bramblefork, and that's very exciting. But we must get you to Odok at some point, Balthazar, so I can show you the marketplace. And she sort of like puts her paw on like Ludson's arm. It's like, and Ludson, we could get you all music boxes. We can get more of these. And she's like really excited.
Oh, I think Ludson would turn and seeing the reaction from Balthazar, try and turn and kind of show Pip as well, and kind of already see Pip dancing in the corner, I think. Yeah, I like that.
Oh, awesome moment.
That sounds like a brilliant plan. It sounds wonderful. The more we can find, the better, I think.
Agreed.
Yes. I want to start a collection and bring it to Blue. Oh, they would love it so much. Oh, he's just like full of. He's just reveling. He's full of. Yeah.
I feel like Balthazar would be the one person, like a one-man band. He'd have like the drum in front, and he'd have like the harmonica and like the cymbals and the
100%.
like a whatchamacallit. I'm making a hand motion, but you can't see. It's the
cymbal.
Accordion. Accordion.
Yeah.
Love it. Maybe a hurdy-gurdy.
Yes, Toads would have hurdy-gurdies.
Well, Balthazar was like, Lutzen, if you're able to, you should keep playing the tune, and I'll play the beat, and it'll make our journey even merrier.
Oh, of course.
That's incredibly sweet and wholesome.
Okay, so you start playing the tune and start marching on. Now it is time for my favourite part of the game. You know what's coming up.
Oh yeah.
We are
Get
going to be
some
picking a
fortunes.
fortune for the coming scene. Your 3 fortunes are Undelivered, Beneath Soft Fur,
Ooh.
and Mark Below. Please discuss these 3 fortunes and pick one.
Beneath soft fur, that's meat.
Oh no.
Also, whose fur? Because
Yeah.
only Ludson and Pip have fur.
I'm going for beneath
no.
soft fur because I'm not in danger.
Oh no, how dare. I'm kind of intrigued by that one. And Mark Below as well, actually. I don't know. Undelivered is... I feel like I want to trade this letter. I don't want to not deliver it.
I feel it's not that straightforward, especially since the
Oh, it never
person
is.
is in Bramblefork and we're not even up to Aspen Grace. But also, I'm too scared because we have a letter to deliver and I don't want to lose it. Like, I don't know what will happen. The other 2 I think are interesting. Or rather, don't to my mind spell out failure.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to disappoint these fictional beasts.
No, definitely not. Like Mark Below, there is something very intriguing about that wording. But then, I don't know, beneath soft fur, like
It's
that
grim.
it is grim, but like it could, maybe like
It's Crier. Sorry.
Oh, she knows what's beneath soft fur. She follows the lines.
Follow
to
the
get
lines.
to it, yeah.
What's beneath soft fur? Her knives.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No. I reckon, I think because we're all sort of very much like beneath soft fur. Ooh, we should. I think that seems like a pretty solid. Pretty solid one.
Okay. So you hike further through the warm afternoon. Why did Lutzen roll?
Just rolling a 1d2 to try and flip a coin to decide, but we decided, so never mind.
Oh, sorry.
No, I like it. I like Beneath Software. I think it's a good one. They're both very
I hope
interesting.
that's okay. I hope I didn't just make a decision for everybody. I hope
No,
we're
not at
We're all
all.
happy with that
Yeah,
decision.
I'm interested. I like that
Okay. So you are marching along, and I keep drawing on the map when I keep meaning to do the click thing, but you can see. You get further along before you have to join this river here, and it's now maybe 1 in the afternoon. The sun is directly overhead. It is a baking warm heat. Occasionally, you can actually see in the distant kind of up and down of the path the miasma of sun on rock, if that makes sense. And I will say, because you are moisture sensitive, Balthazar, you are you're feeling a little wilted. Nothing bad right now, but you're ugh. midday heat.
I put on my hat that Pip made for me.
Oh,
Even with the
God,
hat. This is, I feel like again, nothing mechanically bad has happened, but you're just feeling a little sticky.
Well, we've established that
You
that
don't
toads
sweat.
are
You don't
dry.
sweat.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
well, it's just like paper. Like you touch it, but it's just like weird. Like you can feel the skin.
Okay,
like,
yeah, this is what
very-
I mean. Like you're very raspy.
He's desiccated.
Oh. Is Balthazar like visibly kind of arid right
Dehydrated.
now? Does he-
Yeah.
I mean, I
Is he looking
feel
a bit
if we're.
crispy?
I feel more so if we're like on a dirt path, like he's just covered in like dust,
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Dusty
Oh.
boy.
because it just kind of clings to the very dry skin.
Mhm.
And if you pat him, you pat off like some dirt as well.
It's just
Oh
like
my
a
God.
cloud of
Yeah,
the shape
a
of
fine dust.
Balthazar left behind, just like an
Yeah.
imprint.
Oh, bless him.
The shadow Balthazar.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I mean, because he's quite vigorous and willful, so he's trudging along, but I think he's just
Oh,
like
you're
probably
definitely dealing with it. Like again,
Yeah.
this isn't the worst. You're just like, summer day. You know when you walk through town, you've been walking for like 2 miles, and you're just like, I would like to not. Could the sun not?
Yeah,
But you're not dying.
No, yeah. But I
Yeah.
think like you can probably see that something's off.
I think Pip sort of, kind of like she would sort of be looking over at Balthazar, kind of seeing him, I guess, visibly wilting slightly in the sun.
He's smaller.
He's like, yeah, like she would particularly because he was so chipper and everything as we were leaving Willowmoot. I think she would sort of stop for a second, like hopefully under the shade of under a sort of shade of a rock or some grass or something. I don't think there are any trees particularly close to us right now where we are. No, not really.
Just
just
shrubs,
sort of say,
maybe.
yeah, and just say because we're kind of walking. I imagine we might be somewhere kind of like do the thing. Yeah. Like we're somewhere kind of there at the moment, like near the
Yeah.
river.
Mm.
So
You're
like
adjacent to it. It's a short walk to the river.
yeah. So like I might sort of Pip would sort of stop and say like, Balthazar, should we take a little rest just for a minute? You look a little, and she sort of like look at Ludson and wring her hand slightly. Dry?
A little bit crispy, a little bit wilted.
Crispy.
What's a bit of dust and a bit of dirt on your?
I suppose I'm not quite used to being away from the water for long periods of time. And he kind of starts like dusting off his hands, and there's just like if you're patting out a very old rug,
Oh,
and it just
God.
picks up these tiny little clouds of dust. He's just like, oh dear. Well, if we're not very far from the river, maybe we could take a break over the waterfront, and I could just take a quick dip and feel a little less husky.
Oh, the last bit of something I was in was puddle of mud. So
Oh,
I
mud
think
would be
the
good
water would be
too.
lovely.
No, a nice puddle of mud would be lovely too. But it's rather dry out here, isn't it?
well, maybe we should take a quick breather in the river. It is very warm today. So I think maybe
Seems like a plan.
yeah, I think maybe we'll take a little detour just slightly off the path, just so everyone can kind of dip their feet, or Balthazar dip his
Yeah.
entire self in the river.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I'm like, I will preface right now. He's gonna like walk into the river and then walk out and say, "I'm a mud fury."
Oh.
So yeah,
That's
we
so cute.
can take that break.
Yes. Oh my god, is that him like as a raisin?
Yeah.
It's a raisin.
Yeah, he
Got
turns
like
into
round
Brave.
boy with the rat, and then not so round boy.
Not so
Oh.
wilted boy.
Oh dear. Looks deflated like a sad balloon. Like when you
Yeah.
get like those frog balloons that you can blow up,
Oh.
and like when you blow them up, like the eyes are all kind of
So
expands out.
sadistic tale from my cat. Cats are horrible. I love them.
Yes.
Cats are horrible. She used to take
Yes.
frogs out of our pond to the side of the fridge where warm air would come out, and she would hit them, bap them, and they'd squeak, and then she would get bored and then walk away, and they just dry out. I have seen many dried out frogs in my time, and 9 times out of 10, if you throw them back into the pond, they'll slowly like reinflate and then swim off.
Stop it.
Wow, that
sounds
wild.
too.
That's horrible.
That's a horror story right there.
That is Balthazar's.
They are mostly,
story.
terrorized.
Yeah.
I don't know about a frog's mental health, but they're mostly fine from this experience.
Okay.
They're mostly fine.
Well, so he's not being mummified just yet.
He's not dying.
But-
this is this is humour. But anyway, you go to the river.
Yes.
And it is not a steep bank into the river. It is not fast flowing, but it is quite wide. It seems to have gathered a lot of water from other surrounding areas. And it's a little muddy at its edges because it has dried down. But even then, it is still quite a big river. So you kind of you sit a little bit. Pipistrel and Lutz, and you sort of like take off your bags and put your feet in and relax with the cool water. Maybe have a drink. Balthazar, you just walk.
In his armor and everything, because that way he won't be swept away by the current.
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
And he does emerge from, like, he's under the water for a little bit. There's some bubbles, and when he's under the water, he grabs like some of that silt, and just marks it on his face like a mud fury would, and then walks out being like, "I'm a mud fury."
If he did that unexpectedly,
Like, Lutton's visibly confused.
yeah, if he did that unexpectedly, Pip would 100% slip off the bank into the water, in surprise.
Well, I think like he doesn't suddenly jump out. He just starts walking out like Terminator walk,
Yeah.
and then stands there with his war paint.
Well, in that case, then Pip would Pip would laugh and be like, "Balthazar, we don't know what mud furies are."
How do you not know what the mud furies are? They're the most. Well, they're not knights. They are warriors of toad logs. And well, I'm a little too small to be a mud fury just yet, but they're basically like a secondary caste of fighters, and they wear armor. They don't wear as much armor as we do, but enough to weigh them down, and they can wade through the waters and emerge on the other side of the bank, ready to fight. And unlike our hammers or axes, they wield giant two-handed swords.
Wow. Pip would be like very sort of like audibly impressed by this. Like that, they sound very cool and very scary.
Oh,
Terrifying.
they are fine. They're fine. Fine. They're incredible. Fine. I'm going
terrifying.
back into the water.
I said terrifying, not fine.
Oh, something cut off. I thought that it was just like they're fine.
They're fine.
Sorry.
They're just alright. It's okay.
I like in character that Balthazar misheard Lutson and was about to be like, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
I think Watson's just desperately looking at Pip, just like, what did I do? What did I say?
I think Pip just in Lutson's confusion, she's just giggling. Like, this is just like she's gotten quite used to Balthazar and his just wonderful way of like expelling information. Like we should all know what it is, but we don't. And she's like, she kind of like looks at us and is like, just go with it. It's great. You'll learn so much about toads from Balthazar.
Well, Balthazar's still under the impression that let the water and just see like bubbles. He's probably still complaining underwater.
Oh my god!
I like to think his eyes have just like narrowed. Like it's just you just see the eyes in the water and they're just narrowed and it's just death staring at Watson.
It's like
fine, fine.
It's just bubbles around him.
Yeah.
I'll show you fine.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so cute.
But he cools off and then comes back out and
So while this is all happening,
he was washing the silt off. Sorry.
while this all happens, Balthazar, as you turn around and start washing the silt off, Pipistrel, you're naturally suspicious. I'd like you to make a cunning check for me.
Oh, exciting. Where is my character sheet?
Let's see
Cunning
what's beneath
roll.
that software.
Oh, don't say that! I don't know. Can I tag anything right now? Or is this because it's a
It's
flaw?
sensory. Something you get it. It's something you have a hunch. You're like, huh?
Something's not right. Okay.
Huh?
Damn it!
Well, so
A complication.
yeah.
You spin around. I mean, do you want to use anything, by the way? Because you guys do have a chance to use your vice and virtue, so I don't want to like just charge off. But
Ooh.
Oh wait, I cannot succeed. Oh wait, you guys can do self.
I can
Oh
auto
my God,
self. I
what
just
am
don't know if I should save that for later or not. Ugh.
I forgot to take my mouse with me, so I'm trying to
Actually,
like.
I think
navigate.
for storytelling purposes, actually, can I use my auto success now to see if I hear anything interesting or scary or something I should be worried about?
yeah, I'll let you do that. Cross
you.
off. You double check, and then you double check again, and you see a limp, relaxed paw sitting on a rock, maybe 100 or so paces up the river from you. And you didn't notice it before because it was kind of white fur with a little pink hand. I say little. It's not little by your standards. It was just sitting there. And then suddenly it stretches in the corner of your eye and you look and then it retracts off of the rock.
Oh, what is that? A what?
White?
A white
Paw.
a white arm with a little pink paw, but not little to us.
A cat?
That sounds.
Or
I don't-
a weasel? No, weasels are little.
An albino
I mean,
anything?
Yeah, it could be albino anything. It could be just.
That's true, actually. Okay,
That's
I think
terrifying.
having seen that, like that would have spooked Pip, seeing like a hand and then a hand disappearing. I think she would jump up, like
Pipistrelli, is everything all right?
she would sort of turn to Ludson and like put a finger up to her mouth and like sort of like hush him, and then she'd like, is Balthazar still in the water right now?
Yeah, he's still bubbling.
I think she'd sort of like she'd look over to him and sort of wave, but again like finger to mouth, like shh.
Well, he's in the water. I don't think you can see her. He's like under the water.
What is it, Pipistrelli? What do you see?
I think she'd like half turn her head towards Ludson, kind of keeping an eye on where that paw disappeared, and said, I saw a paw, a white arm and a pink paw disappear over there. And she sort of point, kind of, or she
Can
sort of gesture, yeah.
Can Watson grab a little stone and throw it at Balthazar to get his attention?
Sure. Balthazar, you're in the pond, in the river, and then there's sort of like a bong, and like a stone doesn't hurt, but it sort of like lands on your head and then slowly slides off because the water like muffles the impact.
He, you know what? I'm gonna use that prophetic critical success on a cunning check from earlier, and say that rather than think that he's still being mocked for mud furies, be like, do they want my attention? And
My friends wouldn't throw stones at me for no reason.
Exactly. And he's gonna start walking back up to like, because it's a river, so I imagine it has like quite a steep quote unquote shore. Like, it just drops very, very rapidly. So
I'd say it's not super steep coming out because it's dried down, so you're closer to what would traditionally be the bed. So it's steep climb up out of the river, but the actual shallow, like the shore of the river, so to speak, because it's lower, because it's dried, is not as... Does that make sense?
Okay.
It's sort of like
in any case,
this.
Okay. Oh, let's see.
This is where the
Can
water is.
Can you click me to where you're drawing?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta find it.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I just drew a ring around Balthazar's neck.
That's.
Well, like it moved the
prophetic.
camera like as I was drawing.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Well, he was entirely underneath, so he starts walking back up.
Sorry.
Like, and he's gonna, because you know how he has like his eyes are slightly like protrused. What is that the word? Like, I'll say above. Protruding. There we go. So he kind of like pokes his eyes out first to kind of squint at whoever threw that rock. He assumes it must be. Well, actually, no. It could be. Oh God. Sorry, I just saw what happened with the drawing. Because between Pip and Lutzen, I mean, really, either one of them are playful enough to throw a rock at me. So Yeah, he peeks out, just kind of narrowing his eyes questioningly.
We'll kind of point in the direction. Or kind of like
see,
usher,
you see like Pipistrel looking anxiously up the river, and Lutzen looking over at you.
So I think he, he's been a knight in dangerous times, so he might pick up on the anxiety a little bit. And his eyes unnarrow, and sorry, this tuba music.
Oh, I love the tuba.
And he starts, because he got his armor on. I don't think he has his hammer with him. It's probably on the shore.
It's on the shore with all your stuff.
Yeah. So he's gonna clamber out of the river and start going towards his stuff to get the hammer.
I'm gonna describe how you're doing it. Are you just kind of like just walking straight out the river?
Well, he's gonna be. I think he's, looking around, like, or he's looking in the direction that Pip is looking, and kind of doing that like sidewalk almost, at least to his stuff, because he's just like, oh, are we under attack?
Make a cunning check for me.
You know I can't do that, Brian.
So you're squinting and you're looking, and you walk out of the river with like, you know how like water makes that like splashing sound as you kind of get out, and you walk over to your hammer and you pick it up and you go over to Pipistrel and you're dripping wet. I'm gonna say you don't have your. You do have your armor on right now, so you're sort of like damp all over and wet and dripping water. You definitely weren't quiet getting out of the river.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely.
That's sort of kind of what I was implying. But you've got your hammer and you're sort of there next to Pipistrel.
What's going on? Who threw that pebble at me?
Balthazar, shh. It was me. But there's something upriver.
Oh.
Pipistrel's seen a little.
I wish I knew. I was very loud taking my hammer.
You were quite loud, yes.
Well, I have all this armor. It's not really easy to be stealthy.
No, that's fair. It's very fair. It's fully understandable.
Thank you.
I think Pip's like listening to these like their conversations. Like, would you two please be quiet just for a minute?
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, we've got to be quiet.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god! Like.
So Pipistrel, I think you're trying to listen for whatever it is that you saw.
Yes,
I want you to describe how you're listening.
I think kind of
blocking us out.
Her ears are like sort of forward, facing the direction in where she saw the paw disappear. Mm-hmm. She's desperately trying to tune out Balthazar and Lunson. But like she's appraising the environment. She's like, it sounds like it's quite a sort of still day, so she'll be listening intently, but she'll also be looking for any sort of like movement and things, because weirdly I only found out recently bats actually have pretty good eyesight. They've got very keen eyesight for movement.
Oh yeah, they're not blind.
No, they're not blind at all.
Yeah.
So
they just
love
the
idea
to scream.
Of, like, exactly, they just love to scream. So like she's looking for any kind of movement that isn't like a leaf falling or a rock slipping into the water.
Okay, I'm gonna say make a cunning check for me. I presume you're gonna tag one of your skills.
Yes, I think I would like to tag.
I think like you have like several skills that apply. Like you've got good senses. I would give you advantage assuming you tag a skill. However, I'm also giving you disadvantage because Balthazar and Lutzen are making noise. I'd say like staying alert, inquisitive, shrewd gaze, like all of that would give you advantage. I'm just going to say it's a straight cunning roll for me.
Okay.
Would I not be able to use my auto success for other to cancel out the disadvantage? You could use your auto success.
If I roll badly and you could always save me with an auto success.
Oh, can I decide afterwards? Okay,
you can decide afterwards.
Okay, let's do that. Let's see.
It's just before I really start getting into the narration. Like if I'm like, oh, you rolled a 4. Oh, suddenly a rock falls and you die. Like that would be too late.
Okay.
Well, I'm lucky. I rolled a success.
Now, with a success, 5, I'm going to say that you're like, and you kind of like put your hand on like Lutson's muzzle. You're like,
Yeah.
you kind of look, and you see the grass further up the bank, away from the rock, twitches a little bit.
Ooh.
Something is moving.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Can she?
It's getting
Is there any?
closer.
Is there any way that? Oh, is she any way that she can like? She kind of points to that, but without like saying anything, and hope that like Ludson and.
You can point in the
and Balthazar-
direction, and I think you can communicate the idea that something is getting closer.
Yeah, I think that's what she's gonna try and do. She'll sort of like, she turn around quickly again, still like probably having like a paw on like both of their mouths, like just, and then she'll take one away from like Balthazar's mouth and she'd point over to like, to whatever she just saw in skittering away nearby.
Balthazar just kind of grips his hammer, ready to hit anything.
Mm-hmm.
Watson hides behind Balthazar.
Aww.
With just like hands on his shoulders.
Normally I'd suggest that we move into the water, but the two of you will be probably worse off.
Do you think we could summon a mud fury? Is it a bit too late? Is it a bit too late?
Summon a mud fury.
That's not really.
I take it they're not on the way.
That's not really how it works. The only mud fury we could have is me, and I'd have to suddenly grow several feet. So I think that's off the table.
Something we can work on in the future, I suppose.
Yes, I quite like that.
I love
well,
this.
you know what? I don't. That thing is there. How about we let it know that it's here and that we are ready to face it?
I mean, we don't know what it is yet. Maybe we should.
Well, then let's call out, say hello, and.
I think Pippa's like, let's just wait for a second. Let's just see.
Pipistrel?
Maybe if it comes closer.
It knows that
Pipistrel?
we're here.
Yes.
I'm gonna say they're sort of like, we don't know what it is. Ooh, and you hear a much closer than you expected.
Oh, no.
It's
Oh no!
near the grass where you came through to get to the river, and you hear a
What the
tongue
fuck?
run over
What?
teeth.
Okay. No.
What does Pip do?
I think-
Screams, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. Like honestly, I think she would leap up in surprise and like point at the noise, and I think she would like honestly, I think she'd probably yell like, "Run!"
Well,
Yeah.
because
I'm gonna
it's
say-
between us and the rest of the grasses.
Pipistrel, do you say run?
I think she probably would say, "Run." Like
Watson's gonna just dive to the side.
instinctively. Yeah.
Time. I'm gonna say time is gonna slow down. We're focusing on a very short period of time here. What is everyone starting to do?
Balthazar stands his ground, readies his hammer, so if something comes shooting out, he can predators usually go face first.
Mm-hmm.
So his intention will be to swing over the head and down and get whatever will be coming in.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Okay,
standing.
Pipistrel, what are you doing?
I think Pip would. She would probably dive off to the right, like away from the grass, but like kind of up the river.
Mm-hmm.
And she would look for a vantage point that she would be looking for a vantage point that she could like climb up or stand on. So she would but she would be running kind of away from whatever is in the grass.
Mm-hmm. Lutzen, what are you doing?
I think if there's like a rock or something to hide behind, Watson's gonna dive for that. And possibly like trying to find something heavy in his bag to like prepare to throw. I'm thinking like the broken gear that he's got carrying.
Okay, so you kind of you go to your bag. I don't think you can dive behind cover and grab your bag. because
Yeah,
you
and just
took
like
everything off. So you grab the broken gear from your bag and it's in your hands.
yeah, I'm just kind of ready to chuck it.
Out of the grass comes pouncing a massive polecat.
Oh
It
my
has-
god!
White grey fur up one of its arms, brown fur mostly over its body, mottled with patches of grey. It's wearing a neckerchief, and its fur is out and bushy, and it pounces out of the grass, and it has its fangs drawn, and it bounds towards you, Lutzen.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh shit! Okay, I'm throwing it. I'm
So-
lobbing this thing like at its face.
So I'm going to say we're going to start with Balthazar because Balthazar was ready for a predator.
Yeah, for sure.
Balthazar, what are you doing?
Wait, so how far did everyone else go from me? I thought that we're all, like, close up. I'm a little confused where our orientation is right now.
Let's draw a little kind of navigational map. So I'm going to say this is the river. I'm going to draw everyone to this area.
Okay.
I'm going to delete these cute little drawings so that we have space.
Dead.
Everyone is gone.
Oh no.
I don't know, like massive Lutzen down here is fine. So this is the river. We're going to say that this is sort of like the clearing you guys are in. This is grass.
Grr.
I'm going to say that there is sort of like, up here is where you saw that stone, but it's quite far away. This is, a close space. There is a sort of a rocky, flat thing over here that Pipistrel can dive behind. Your stuff is at this cross mark here, in a pile.
God.
I think I accidentally deleted the Pipistrel mini. So I'm just going to drag Balthazar here.
That's
These
me.
are not to scale. This is Lutzen. Oh, I just took your R as well.
Hang on,
This
I'll
is
draw.
Lutzen.
I'll draw a little pip quickly.
Cool.
And I'm going to draw quickly a little polecat.
Little giant polecat.
Little giant polecat. Oh God.
Is a polecat considered a behemoth?
No.
No, not
Behemoths
quite.
are wolves and bears and
Okay, much
big,
bigger, okay.
nasty things that haunt the night.
This is just a predator then, so.
This is
Yeah.
just a predator.
Got
Polecats
it.
are pretty big, though.
Yeah, they're
Polecats
pretty chunky.
are larger than ferrets.
Yeah.
Wait, polecat. Oh, This is fucking little dunce me thinking it's like a wild actual cat, but no, polecat is like a little ferrety fucktrip thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're related.
Yeah.
They're related to things like stoats, weasels,
Weasels,
pine
yeah.
martins.
They're
Not
like one of
squids.
they're one of the
Aw.
larger of the weasels, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like they're larger than weasels. They're probably the same size as a wildcat in terms of mass.
Yeah,
They're
they're
differently
really
shaped.
cute.
They are
I
cute.
love
They
Bugs.
are really cute, but also, do you know what's really cute?
Food, me.
I'm trying to draw it and I'm failing.
Look at him go.
Wow. So if this creature is going for Lutzen, will it be like going past me?
Yes.
Because if it's
Yeah.
going from that direction, okay, then in that case, rather than going for an overhead swing, he's going for a side swing to
Ooh.
just get it in the mouth
Ooh.
as it's coming past.
Like a driving range, like hodunk.
Good
Like
shout,
he's
yeah.
gonna use its momentum and the momentum of his hammer to hopefully knock those teeth out.
Okay,
Oh my
I'm,
God.
I'm just gonna undo. Oh god.
you want
Look,
me to-
that's a
I-
polecat. Okay, someone draw me a pretty polecat,
I like
please.
it.
I'll draw a quick little polecat somewhere. Hang on.
Because I can't draw with my mouse unless it's a stupid little shape.
I have my tablet hooked up right now, so
Oh, magic.
Please make me a polecat, please.
I will make you a polecat.
This awful rendition of a polecat leaps forward. I'm really sorry, sponsors Roll20 for making this disgusting thing. I would
Make me
like
feel
you to
polecat.
describe. You're making this driving swing. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
a vigor check because you were prepared. It seems methodical. You're not using any like specific tools. You just smack it with your hammer.
Yeah.
Make a vigor roll for me, and I'm going to give you advantage because you were prepared.
Oh, thank you. Cool,
So,
I'll
yeah.
do that. Yeah, get them teeth.
Yes.
Mhm. Now
So,
you
yeah,
got a critical
definitely-
success, so there's nothing it could roll. Yeah. I'm gonna say it wasn't expecting an armored toad. Because it got a
Very
hijinks.
few people do.
I'm gonna say that
Come at me.
you don't get its teeth, you get its nose.
Oh.
Yeah, right in the snooter.
So
Ouch.
what do you want to happen next? I'm gonna give you control because you got a critical success against a hijinks. You get to decide what happens.
So actually, you know what? Rather than going for, because I said he's initially I thought that he can intercept this thing from the side, but I think because he was gonna go for the overhead and slam it down, so he kind of goes into like still overhead, but it arcs from the side, and then he turns his waist and slams it down on the nose, and it was going for Lutzen, and then it is just hammered into the ground, like it is
Oh.
completely stopped because. There's this, I know it's like a momentum rule with humans where usually the body follows the head. So like if you tilt the head anyway, usually the body follows. And here it's just like it is like hammering a pole into the ground.
Mm.
I'm
gonna nick
gets that
this.
snoot.
Atlanta, that's adorable.
Oh, it's like a red panda.
Yeah.
They've got funny little face markings. They have like a little
Yeah.
bandana on. Sorry,
They
yeah.
do. But yeah, just overhead, right into the nose, and this entire thing, like, hang on, let me just. I literally imagine that as it's getting
flip over.
hit, it's like woo, like all its like little legs.
it just
and stuff, and
coils.
it's like shit, it just has the.
The
Yeah, it's like
paws go out. It's more like just the immediate sensation of pain in the nose. It goes, "Arr!" and the claws and the paws grind into like the dirt of the riverbank near you. Pipistrel, I'm just going to move you behind this rock.
Go for it.
And it sort of, because all momentum of its pounce towards Lutzen just stops.
It is gone.
And there is a squeak. Balthazar and Pipistrel, what are you doing?
Oh, Balthazar
And
went.
Oh no, sorry, Lutzen and Pipistrel, even, sorry. Kind of what sort of thing are you doing? And I'm going to say for, like, mass that it's taken up, it's not just, like, a little thing, it's like a long boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
like they're quite long, noodly creatures.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 or 5 rats of mass.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I actually have. I'm quickly going to put in game chat. I just found a very good visual guide for roughly how big they would be.
Oh,
So
excellent.
if anyone wants a quick look at sort of
Oh,
roughly how
wow.
big a polecat would be, that is sort of roughly how big a polecat would be.
Wowee.
So like bigger than a stoat.
Mhm.
Sort of like
'Cause,
bigger than Lutzen.
Whew, okay,
Because
yeah,
the
for
little
sure.
leaf weevil would because the little weevil, that's a Pokemon. A weasel is can kind of fit in your hand.
Oh.
Like they're not super big.
No, weasels are
Or
small.
like the size of a rat, probably, right?
Weasels are actually even smaller. Weasels would probably be about
Okay.
the same size as like Pipistrel. Like
So this
wow.
thing is more like a house cat.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so a stoat would roughly be the same size as Ludson, just sort of like longer. And then when you're kind of getting into a polecat, you're kind of getting somewhere between, like you're getting like something smaller than a badger, but definitely bigger than a rat.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we are ever unlucky enough to run into a pine marten, we're kind of in trouble because like pine martens are big.
That's a big beastie, and
That is a big beastie. So like we're kind of dealing with it like as one of the smaller-ish of this family, but like they're still very fast. They're very agile, and they are very good at dancing around and confusing their prey and then eating them.
yeah.
So I'm scared right now.
I love that there's a least weasel.
Least
Yeah.
it's little.
Mini weasel. Minimum. I'm trying
Minimum.
to.
Yeah, I like the minimum to
weasel.
maximum. Like,
Weasel. No, it's not happening.
Weasel.
Max
Anyway,
a weasel,
sorry,
max
anyway.
a weasel, mini weasel. No.
So,
that's-
what are
sorry, I
y'all
just
up
thought I'd
to?
have that there. I think,
Mm.
yeah, Ludson, what are you doing?
I mean, I think like Lutzen is kind of bracing for impact because like there's not much else he could have done really except just holding this like broken gear. So I like to imagine it's kind of skidding to a halt in front of him, and he's just kind of like, or like throw this. Well, there's not much point in throwing the gear if Balthazar's like whacked this thing into the ground.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we'll either take note of his surroundings and dart off in a different direction. I think. So we'll
Mhm.
dart off past our things, try and grab as many of them out of the way, and
I
just
mean,
push them into
I think
the
you could
side.
you could just jank your backpack.
Yeah, I'm just
I
gonna
could say
head that way. Kind
you've
of.
grabbed both your backpack and, or in all, just they are quite heavy. I'd say you could grab
Yeah.
your backpack and drag Atlanta's as well.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Pipistrel's.
Thank you.
Because Balthazar is already like loaded with armor and
Yeah.
hammer, and not necessarily the pack, but like we'll just move as much as he can quickly, just like the light things out of the way
Yeah.
and over to kind of here.
So do you want to go into the grass?
Yes, I mean I guess the polecat's out of the grass now, so yeah, to find cover.
Mm-hmm. So you dive into the grass, and people can see the grass moving, but they can't see you right now.
Wait, as in the other two can't see me, but they can see the grass moving.
Yes, they have a general awareness that you're
Okay.
in the grass, but like you're out of line of sight.
Okay, cool, that's fine.
Pipistrel, what are you doing?
I think if I'm behind this rock currently, I think what Pip would. Oh, probably what would she be doing? I think she would probably kind of do what was probably like I think she would want to like climb up onto the rock to see what the polecat's doing, and I think she might try and do what she did with the beetle is like if Balthazar's hit it with the hammer and stunned it, she might try and like jump onto its back, but only once it's like stopped moving for half a second.
Okay. I'm gonna see you climb up onto the rock. I'll let you. We're going to keep you there because it's not accurate. It's just a thing. But you climb up onto the rock and you scramble and you see this polecat is sort of like it's kind of got its nose in its paw, and then it kind of stands up and it looks furiously angry. There's a blood running from it, and there's a dent from Balthazar's hammer, and then it kind of hisses at Balthazar, sort of just like
Balthazar
an angry
croaks
noise.
back.
Yeah.
You make angry kind of noises at each other.
Yeah, because that's how they croak. So, but he like his throat, like billows out, and he makes a squeak.
And it the polecat sends out like a flurry of scratches at you at its front, Balthazar. So I would tell me what you're trying to do.
So it's striking out with its little hands.
Yeah, and trying to like it's just like there's like scratching claws, biting face.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like coiling around and stuff. Like it's trying to.
Not quite coiled around yet, but it is just sort of like savagely attacking you.
I think that he will, because he just showed it what for a little bit, and he doesn't shout like he doesn't shy away from these. Like he continues. He's gonna try to be like swing with his hammer and still kind of posturing like he wants to make himself look very dangerous. And is going to try to like he was having a good day. There was a music box. They were drumming some lovely tunes, and now this thing ruined his fantasy of being a mud fury. So I think like at this moment he's just kind of mad, and and it's gonna see that he's like this toad means business. Means business. So he's kind of. I think he like as it comes with the strikes, he retaliates with his own like, and just kind of just very menacing. I think.
Okay, make a willpower check for me.
Some channeling the Mud Furies because they're definitely like berserkers. Can I tag my menacing?
Yes.
Ooh.
Thank goodness.
Oh, a 10 and a 12.
You've already succeeded, but the polecat got another hijinks.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So tell me how you're fending off its attacks.
So it kind of comes like. So you say that it's almost going to be trying to coiling around, like kind of coming in, snapping.
Yeah, like it's trying to like snap and bite down on you and just like get in your face.
So I think like it goes in for those first strikes, and he does the like, swings the hammer around, and it kind of like it never quite gets close enough because it's hesitating, and then at one point it's like, no, this is just a dumb toad, and it goes in with its maw again, and he like it hesitates at the last moment and doesn't quite go with the full force, and he slams his foot down on its nose again, and then just hits it with the hammer, having had that like leverage of putting down his armored, heavier body in that moment, and just brings the hammer down once again. You
smack it on the head, like squarely between the eyes, you bonk, and it's sort of like you hear like the clack of its jaw, like kind of like smack, because the head smacks into the ground, and then the teeth clack together.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of that painful land, and it's sort of the ripples throughout the body. There's sort of like the S shape goes as it sort of like flattens onto the ground, because as you said, momentum follows the head, and it scrambles away from you, kind of hissing and.
I think just Balthazar would say, I thought you'd have an easy meal, did you? Well, you are mistaken! Sorry.
I love him.
The polecat spits blood at you, sort of like a
Ooh.
Hygiene!
Gross.
That's unhonorable. Inhonorable. Not, I don't know what, dishonorable.
No honor for you. Pipistrel, what are you doing?
I think so. Is the polecat kind of still sort of dancing around in front of Balthazar?
Yes. Though a little
Okay.
more distant now.
Okay. Oh gosh, wing is getting better, and I've had rest and not been doing anything with it. Like, if the time was right, I think she would probably be looking for an angle to try and like jump onto its back and like kind of use her very long arms and kind of like wrap them around its neck and try and like
Choke it out.
like confuse it, like
Choke it
Okay.
out.
like
So I'd like you to describe what you feel as you jump and try to fly onto its back.
I think she is filled with a kind of determination. She's like, I've done this before, I can do this again. Like she's watching Balthazar like fighting, and he's so kind of just like in the zone, and she's like, I want to be brave like my friend Balthazar, and I will be brave, and he needs my help, and I'm gonna help him. So she's full of this, like,
zone.
exactly. She's full of like a sort of a righteous determination. You're filled with determination. It's an Undertale reference.
Yes.
Oh.
So that's kind of how she's feeling right now.
So, I would like you to make a willpower check for me.
Ooh, what can I
Right.
tag? Nothing. actually, I can tag something. Can I tag my unassuming presence? Because I have kind of crept around this rock, and this polecat hasn't noticed me. It heard
Okay.
me, but it hasn't like noticed me. So like I've gone around this rock. I've climbed up this
It doesn't
rock. without
consider
this-
you a threat. Okay,
It doesn't.
cool. Yeah,
It doesn't consider me a threat right now.
go for it.
Yay! Oh, thank God. Okay.
So you got a 3 and a 5. So we'll go with the success. You do as well as you can. The narrative describes how successful you are. I'm going to say you flap your wings once and twice, and you jump, and you flap, and there's a twinging in your wing, but you manage it, you're pushing air, and you span the gap, and you are now on the back of this polecat.
Yay! Oh my God.
I'm dragging the entirety of the grass with me.
Oh my god, you've just defaced.
Ah, Pip, what happened to you? She's looking a little peculiar, but never mind. Sorry, I don't know how you merge drawings. Like, you know how you can like make them like one thing?
Oh,
Yeah,
kudos.
There is a
do that
group
on Roll20.
function.
Yeah, I
Ah.
do.
So if you
I-
right click.
We don't have
Ah.
access to that as players, I think.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
we can't right click or do anything like that.
Yeah.
advanced group. And I click and I go drag. Yay!
Yay! Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Good.
Just too
More or
much
less
in
all.
close proximity. Cool. So, you are now on the back of this polecat, which rapidly slithers back. As you know how if you put like paper on the back of a cat, like its body immediately touches the ground, like, "Ugh," and it slithers back from you, Balthazar, thinking that you've done something to it.
Oh, I have. 2 times.
Lutzen, what are you doing?
And seeing Pip kind of fly over onto its back, he's going to rustle through his pack and get out his stripped ivy rope,
Mhm.
and is going to hold onto one end, try and pin it down with some of the bendy metal, or like put
Mhm.
one end under his foot and weigh it down, and yell out to Pip like, "Pipistrel, grab this!" and like throw it over to try and like tie it down, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or
good
try and
call.
tie him down.
Pip looks at Ludson and she would like nod and like while she's kind of like has up like she's gripping on to this polecat's fur, like she will like outstretch her other hand to try and catch the thingy so she can help tie it down.
Okay,
Or
so
just like confuse it. I don't know.
Lutzen, you're using tools. I'd like you to make a cunning roll for me,
Okay.
to see how well you tie down this vine rope.
Okay. To tie it down, did you say?
Yes.
Can I tag either my outlandish solutions or structural engineering?
I think Outlandish Solutions works best here.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Cool. So advantage, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was a 7 and a 5. We'll take either success. You do as well as you can. I'm going to say you tie it around a nearby rock that's the right sort of size and weight, you think, to at least be to give resistance.
Yeah.
So while this has all been going on, you've tied it around the rock, you throw the rope to Pipistrel. Pipistrel, you've got 1 claw on the beast, 1 claw on this rope. It starts to try and buck you, and it starts to writhe and jamble around. I want you to make I would say a vigor check, but you can describe it as something else if you want to hold on.
Make a rodeo chick.
Yeah! No,
Wrangle this thing. Get it good. Alright.
This is Beast Fables, but Texan edition. I think she would have grabbed like the other end of this rope, and she would have both paws would go back, like while holding the rope. She would have wrapped as much of her quite long claws into the fur of this beast as possible, and she she could feel it, kind of like with the beetle. If she could feel it starting to buck, she would flatten herself to the back of this polecat, like gripping on with her front claws. She would dig her back claws in as best she can into the fur, into the skin if she has to, just to stay on. But she'd be trying to like navigate the rope in her hands, so like she doesn't let go of it, so she can help tie this thing down. So that'd still be a willpower or vigor, even. Sorry.
That would be, I'm gonna say cunning, because you're trying to like go with the beast. You're trying to, again, you're using tools. You're being smart about how you're acting. It's not just methodical action. You are trying to interpret the actions this creature's making. I'm gonna say it's trying to roll you off, and because it's its own creature. It's a hunter. I'm giving it advantage, so I'm going to make it roll twice.
Oh no! Why?
So it rolled a 7 success. You got to beat it or match it.
Okay, is there anything I can tag? Probably not.
I can auto success.
Oh.
So I would say that gives you a 4, but that's not. I'd say roll once and see if you get higher.
Okay.
So I don't know how an auto success would work here, but I'm going to say that. It's not a hijinks or a fail.
Could I, if I did use it, could I yank down on my end of it, or like step on the rope to try and like lower down the polecat even? Do you know what I mean? Like to like tighten the rope almost, or is that gonna like pull?
I'll let you use it. Auto success. I'll let you use it. You managed to hold on to the polecat, and now you have a good secure hold of the rope. What do you want to do next, Pipistrel? Like, it hasn't bucked you off yet.
Okay, I think what she would try and do, if she sees, so whichever direction, actually let me just go to the map. So if Ludson kind of threw me the rope from like here, and she caught it in her left hand, she would probably have like transferred it over to her right hand, and then what she would want to do is then roll off towards Balthazar, and like pull on the rope and pull it down, and like, obviously like seeing her do that, she would hope that Ludson would then start pulling too, and like their combined effort would like flatten this thing to the ground.
Okay. I would like both of you to make a vigor check for me.
Okay, my vigor is my worst, but I guess we'll see how it goes. Damn it.
Is that me as well there? Sorry.
Yeah.
You said a vigor check. Okay. Oh lord. Okay.
Okay.
With the complication is success. It is a much bigger creature than you. You temporarily like pull it sort of like front half down. It sort of slides out, and so it's kind of like semi-pinned by this rope. But you know that it's not going to hold it for long. What are you guys doing? Anyone want to pitch in with an idea?
I mean, Balthazar, if it's kind of pulled down, he might just take another swing at it.
I will say, because it's pinned down, you have advantage, whatever you're going to do, so describe what kind of thing you're going to do.
Well, he's been getting at that snoot, and well, he hit it in the head, and maybe he'll give it a nice concussion. So I think when it's kind of pulled down, he's just kind of gonna like as it smashes the ground, he's just gonna do that thing again where he's gonna like kind of vault himself like on the snoot and then come down with the hammer again on its head. He just wants to, he's just repeatedly hitting it on the head, so it's dissuaded from attacking, essentially.
Yeah, I'll let you do that.
And,
this sounds more methodical. The initial rage has gone, so this is going to be a vigor check, it sounds to me.
Okay, yeah.
And you have advantage.
Thank you. Yeah, and just as he's doing this, he would just say like, "Get away from here, you vile beast!" Just basically being like, "Get out, or we're gonna get you. We're gonna give you many concussions."
We don't taste that nice anyway.
I will choose to auto succeed.
Wow, you rolled a hijinks and a complication. Okay.
Yep.
You use up your auto success.
Good choice, but
I'm gonna say that like you go to smack its head, and instead you get like its shoulder, and you give it a good meaty thwack into the arm, which it winces away from. And it looks wildly around at the three of you, and then just sort of like under its breath it says, "Claw this!" And it sort of spins and twists. Because it's twisting its body, just the leverage alone, the rope is pulled from your grasp. And Pipistrel, and it falls slack. It's still tied around this stone with Lutzen, but instead it's sort of you just yanked out of your hands. A bat versus a polecat in terms of strength isn't going to work.
fair.
And it spins and twists. I'm going to say it's going to try and sweep you, Balthazar, and Pipistrel with its large kind of like tail and flank, and just try and knock you over.
Can I try and throw some of my bag of fixings, like screws and bolts and things?
Well, you had the
ground?
big broken gear in your hand.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
I'm going to say that sounds like a vigor check, just to try and throw it as hard as you can.
Yeah? So it's either the fixings to kind of like dive into the pocket and throw them to kind of
The
sharp,
caltrops.
yeah, like caltrops, like sharp on the ground, or either the broken gear.
I wouldn't say
in my
that your fixings are things like little tiny gears, they're bits of metal. It's not as diverse as a weapon, so
Right,
they
okay,
cannot do harm.
That's fair. I will throw the chunky.
But you've got a big
gear.
chunky gear which can, so I'll let you do that.
Cool.
Balthazar and Pipistrel, what are you doing to avoid harm?
oh gosh.
Balthazar, because he's like on its kind of back shoulders somewhere, like neck, as it starts to twist underneath him.
Mm-hmm.
And the toads have games like these where they put like basically would be like standing on a log on the water and kind of running forward or backwards to not get thrown off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing that. He's done this a million times. Only this one's soft and furry, but it's just like running on the logs and not falling into the water. So he's
Toad
doing
sports.
like it's toad sports.
Wait, are you going to
Total
run on
Olympic.
top of the polecat?
Yeah, so he doesn't get bucked off. He's still on top of it. Like you know that motion, right? Am I explaining it correctly?
I didn't think you were on the polecat.
Well, I said that I climb on it and hit it.
And bonk him.
Oh, I was
I,
just
like,
like
said,
imagining
like-
you hitting it, and you. Okay, yeah, cool. Sorry,
No,
just in my
like, if
that
it's-
description missed me, but yeah, no, I get that. So you
sorry,
sort of you
'cause I
run
said that
down
he
its
gets-
you run down
yeah.
its neck and along its back to try and avoid getting bucked. Okay.
Oh my god.
Well, because he like got here. Sorry, this is a beautiful picture.
It's
To
amazing.
try and hit it, right? I don't know if it's visible. I'm gonna put it here.
It's so good.
So I imagine that because you said that he kind of overshot. So I imagine that he moved. Well, I can't grab him now because the polecat's too powerful.
Further up.
Yeah. So then I imagine that he moved like here and hit it on the
Yeah.
shoulder blade. So now, if it's rolling this way, he's running backwards this way to still be on top of it. But
Okay,
like if
so
you had a barrel in the water on its side
yeah.
and running to not drop off of it, these are toad sports.
Yeah.
So this
That'll
is the
be
motion that it's
surprisingly
doing.
Oh, I thought. Oh.
So it was
Oh!
down. You're here, little toad,
I see. I thought
and it's
that
like about to be like yeet.
I thought that it's like a cylinder that's now, going
my
around.
God.
Okay, so it's being alrighty, I see.
Because it's
sorry,
pushing the
say that.
rope down to here, and it's twisted its long body to then yank out of Pipistrel's hands.
I see. Okay, I had misunderstood. Because when you said it starts twisting, I thought that it's literally like a cylinder, twisting itself.
No, yeah, I can understand. So this is what's happening. I still think it's cool that you're running along the log, because I think they could, like, push them back and forth in the water as well. So, like, it all fits in that general vibe. This would be I'm gonna say vigor check. It's a practice skill for you. Log running.
I'm imagining it's like a toad assault course, like it's part of the night training. It's just like an on the water
but it's
assault
also
course.
just also the sports, like
Yeah,
when they have
yeah.
the Toad Olympics, where all the logs come together to see who has the greatest
I love it.
physical feats.
Pipistrel, what are you doing? Because
I
not
think-
only is it bucking, but it's also full on turning around,
I think
as in
I
to
think-
face this way.
Yeah, I think what Pip would do is I think she sort of testing her luck. I think what she would try and do is she would try and leap into the air, not necessarily and fly away, but just get out of she'd leap and fly and or glide away as best she could.
Just to
with her
flap up a
inner
bit.
wing. Yeah,
Clear
just
the
to,
ground.
just to clear the ground and get away from it on the ground and sort of hover in the air at least for a minute until she can decide what to do.
Okay, so Pipistrel, make a cunning roll for me. This is about timing. And Balthazar, make a vigor roll for me. This is about log toad running.
Yeah, Toad Olympics. Can we tag anything, or
You can, but you have to reason it.
well, I wanted to say undaunted because things are happening, but he doesn't he's not oh no, what will I do? It's all he's ready. He's ready for whatever is in front of him.
I think you're so ready. You're like, this is just like the camp. No, this is just like the simulations.
Oh my god.
and you polecat run. Yes, vigor advantage.
His toad eyes go square instead of just narrow, and numbers start running in front of them. It's like the Matrix.
Critical success.
So you essentially are now on its butt. You've kind of run along its back as it's moved. I'm going to delete this and show you what's happening. There we go.
By the way, the rat gear throw was a 4.
Oh, good to know.
Just by the way.
So now the polecat is like this. Legs.
Oh my god.
Spiky feet.
Nightmare horse.
You are on its flank. And the gear smacks it in the side of the head, I'm going to say, with a success. And it basically pounces back into the grass. It's running away. Balthazar, what do you want to do?
Ooh.
It's running away?
Yeah.
Then he will just kind of, I think, jump in. If it's running away, he's gonna jump in combat roll. You know that scene in Lord of the Rings where Legolas kills the Oliphant and then just kind of slides off of its trunk?
Yes.
I want him to slide off of, I know the tail physics doesn't work that way, but I'm very small. So I want to slide off of that, of that tail, and kind of, if possible, if I, because I might beef it, but I want to Superman land on the ground with a hammer in one hand,
Okay, so I want you to make a cunning roll for me for this.
No!
This is sliding,
isn't it heroic?
balance,
Isn't it
new terrain.
heroic? Isn't
It's
it
heroic, but this is cunning.
No, I'm gonna fall on my butt.
This is character development.
Oh no!
I should have left my auto success for this.
I tried to 3-point land.
I'm
Tried to
gonna
3-point
say.
land, you made a 1 toad land.
Oh.
So basically, you slide off the tail, and you kind of make the landing, and then faceplant into the mud. But Lutzen and Pipistrel weren't looking at the cool part where you slid off the tail. They only see you into the mud. So it's like a double. It's a double. Because not only did you know that you kind of half did it, but also they only saw you fail.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He stays in the mud for a little while.
blowing
The
bubbles.
polecat yowling into the grass, and Pipistrel, you hear it just away into the distance.
Oh, okay.
I think Lutson's going to run over to Balthy and try and help him up and say, Balthazar, are you all right? You made a bit of a land in there. It didn't bite you, did it?
When you come over, in the mud, there's bubbles coming out of the side as he's grumbling. And he's gonna start getting up and say, No, the only thing hurt is my ego.
I was gonna say, can Lutson try and just roll him over instead of before he gets up? Just try and just leaves a perfect toad imprint facing in.
Yeah, there's a
easy to
Balthazar
roll.
angel in the mud.
Yeah.
But the face and it's just
upset.
Yeah, just like this is the imprint in the mud.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh.
If
There's a
you
pebble
are
that looks like a
listening
tear.
to, if you're listening to like the podcast version of this, which I have been updating finally now that I've got the bandwidth in my head, Ver just drew the saddest little face in the mud, just grimace.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
so
like
sad.
if you like if someone runs into like a window, you know, when it's like in like films and things, that kind of face they make where they're just squished up against it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
So kind of like Lutzen, you lift Balthazar out of the mud. Pipistrel, you fly down and kind of land on the ground next to Balthazar.
Gently,
Pipistrel,
like a little leaf.
Yeah, Pipistrel, you're flying. I thought you said you couldn't do that before.
She kind of like looks down at her injured wing and is like, "Well, we're not quite there yet, but you know, she's starting to she looks sort of excited. You know, she's sort of like, but it feels good."
Balthazar, have you seen this
Pipistrel?
before?
I think
Balthazar
you should...
was wiping mud off of his face and says, "Wait, baby's trying to flow and I didn't see."
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm sorry, Balthazar.
Pipistrel, before you say anything, I think you should just check your character sheet.
Oh my god.
I have a new skill now.
Can fly.
I can fly again.
You have a lack of a flaw, injured wing. You didn't realize, but you just flew.
Yeah.
It's so natural. She didn't even realize she had it back again. Oh, she can fly. My little girl can fly again. Oh, that feels so good. I think. Okay, I take it back. Back in time slightly. Before, like, she lands in front of Lutzen, and Lutzen's like, "Oh my god, you just flew," and she's like, "What?" She, you know, like, because she completely. It was so
Second nature.
It was so instinctive. She didn't even realize what was happening. And like before she says anything else, she crouches down, like opens her wings up as fully as they can, crouches low to the ground, and then leaps into the air. And like in this sort of little clearing that we're in around the river, she just takes a quick fly for the first time in like over like a month, longer than a month.
Yeah,
Like,
3-4 weeks.
It's been weeks since she's been able to fly.
That's a long time for small animals, I guess.
Oh my god, yes. And like she closes her eyes, she feels the breeze on her face, like the wind going through her fur, like, you know, down her flight suit and everything, and you know, like she breathes just like a little sigh of relief before like coming and landing in front of Balthazar and Lutzen again.
Oh.
The flight, because you haven't flown in a while, is tiring. Like, you feel muscles that haven't ached in a very long time burning under your skin, but it's a good feeling, like when you've just done a really good workout. You'll have to build up your strength for long flights again, but you can fly. You also are now air dried, and so you are just one big... You've got like the flight suit, and then like your face is a big puffball, and parts of like bits of fluff are just like sticking out.
Yeah, you could like at the top of the flight suit, under where she has all her real fuzzy fur. Like, I imagine it's just like this is like big tufts of fur. I'm actually gonna do a quick doodle of what she probably looks like right now.
Well, I imagine Balthazar would be back up to see the flight now.
Yeah. No longer moping in the mud.
Yeah. His ego's instantly healed upon not ego, but just his willpower is instantly healed upon seeing Pipistrel do her little flight. And when she comes back down, he's like, he has a similar reaction like he did to the music box. Just kind of looking with like mouth open, and then just excitedly kind of jolts and says, "Babe, that you flew! That was amazing! You're so graceful in the air!"
Oh my gosh, my heart is gonna explode.
Lutzen just clapping, just like, that was fabulous, it was fantastic. Do it again. Or whoa, look after, watch your wing, of course, but do it again.
She sort of walks over to them, but she's like hopping a little bit. Like she is so excited right now. Like eyes are bright, big and yellow, and full of excitement and happiness. And like there are no words. She goes over to Balthazar and like, yes, he's heavy, but like she tries to do the thing where she like picks him up and spins him around, but she's too heavy, so she's like, "Oh, forget that!" She just gives him like a massive hug.
He
And then
picks
she's
her up and spins her around.
Yes. And then but then when he puts her down, she runs over to Ludson and like she's like, her face would kind of probably hit where like his chest would be, but like, but she would like squeeze him round the middle. Because
He'll kind of like put his head on top of, on top and kind of give you a little hug back.
that's so cute. Oh, such wholesome, sweet moments. I love this game.
I think this is a nice part to end the episode on.
Yay! And high, literal high for me. Haha.
However, this isn't
Sorry.
the end of the scene.
Ooh.
We've got
shit.
more to explore next week on Wednesday.
Oh lord.
Oh god.
Oh lord.
Oh,
Lordy,
no more,
lordy.
no
Oh
more
lord,
podcasts,
more
please.
polecats coming.
Oh god.
20, 30, 50.
Oh
A
no.
veritable
Army of
wiggle
polecats.
horde.
Buy me whiskers, no.
So,
I'll
I think
take them all.
this was a fun little episode, guys. You have made it, I'm going to mark it on the map, about a third of the way so far.
Okay.
No, more like a
wow.
quarter.
Wow.
More like a quarter. A good
Yay.
day's travel up the road towards Aspen Grace. You might make Aspen Grace by evening,
Nice.
if you
Perfect.
travel just as hard.
I make sure to collect up my rope because it was useful, and my gear.
It didn't snap,
Lovely.
but you do kind of coil it back up and kind of pack all your stuff up and continue on your journey. I'm going to assume you kind of eat some food as well. You kind of have some oats
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nibble on them.
Maybe kind of hide
And
in the grass a little bit more to kind of stay out of cover, or hide under that rock a little bit.
Balthazar will definitely, before we set out, further on the road, he'll take another dip in the river just so he's like wet, completely dripping as
Yeah.
we start
Oh.
walking. Because I imagine there are like the toad armor is made so like if you submerge it, like it keeps some water on the inside, so he's just
like a wetsuit.
sloshing. Well, it's
Well, that's what your
opposite
padding
of a
does. That's what your
wetsuit.
padding
Well, no,
does.
Because there's like wetsuits
Oh,
and dry
yeah.
suits.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So actually, you're right. The padding probably absorbs water, and
So you're leaving like a trail of dripping
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
moisture wherever
It's
you
just-
go.
Yeah.
Toad footprints just plodding along the dirt path.
Yep.
Oh.
And they probably dry out pretty fast in this
Yeah.
in this sun.
Okay, so this has been Beast Fables, Chapter 12, The Road to Bramblefork. We have got a ways to go. Next episode is going to be just as fun. It's going to be Wednesday the 4th?
Oh god,
Yes.
it's November already.
Oh my god,
It's
that's
gonna be
terrifying.
November. I hate it.
November. We might even have some little bonfire night stories, who knows?
Yes, if we manage to wrangle that, because it's
Oh,
that
yeah.
thing of sometimes tabletop homework, I call it, when the DM's like think about, and I'm just like, oh god,
No.
do I remember? Do I have time?
We'll see what happens. But join us next week. Check out the Vice and Virtue Kickstarter, which is gonna go live on the 5th, actually. That's my planned launch. So you can sign up to get notifications about it. You can watch the trailer and the other videos on the YouTube of Dungeons and Dragons. Not
Dungeons and Dragons?
Dungeons on a Dime. Brian needs more coffee. Don't go to the Wizards of the Coast. They're not my Kickstarter. Check out the free Adventures on a Dime rules on the Roll20 Marketplace or at doed.co.uk. And I hope you guys have a great night. We're going to just introduce ourselves again quickly before we go. I'm Brian. I use he, him pronouns. I run Dungeons on a Dime. You can find everything I do there. I've got a Patreon where I'm going to be releasing some cool content that me and Fraser are working on for next month. And it's a sewer adventure with sewer maps, which will be fun.
Yes.
And that's me. I'm going to hand over to Ver to reintroduce themselves.
Thank you. I have been Ver. You can find me on social media under Verface at Twitter, Sticks and Sharks at Tumblr, and you can also support me on Patreon at Verface, where I actually post a lot more than I do on my social media right now because I'm in the middle of drawing a comic, and I also draw a lot of ink art that makes it onto Patreon but not onto my Twitter. So if you would like some exclusive art or previews, then I guess I'd recommend it.
Pretty things.
Yes, pretty
Premium
things.
artwork.
Premium artwork on Patreon. But yeah, Brian, thank you very much for DMing this game. It has been a delight. And of course, Atlanta and Fraser, thank you so much for being my fellow players. I love these characters. And as usual, I'm very excited for the continuation of our adventure next week.
Amazing.
Yay.
Speaking of amazing friends, Atlanta.
Hello, I am a pile of autumnal leaves moving in the breeze, otherwise known as Atlanta.
A good one. That's a good
I
one.
love your introductions, like the sign-off kind of description so much.
The sad thing is I spend way too much time thinking about them, but in any case,
It's worth it. It's worth it.
It's good to make you all laugh. But yeah, I am also known as Alpaca Scribbles on Twitter, Alpaca_Scribbles on Instagram, Alpaca Scribbles on Patreon, although my Patreon is currently paused. Sorry about that. Just working through a whole bunch of rubbish I need to. Nothing particular to plug, but if you follow me kind of on Twitter, that's kind of where I'm most active at the moment. I am sort of posting a few bits and pieces of Beast Fables art over there if you're interested in seeing anything else I do. Again, Brian, I thank you so much for hosting. Ver and Fraser, always a pleasure to play with you both. I'm so happy that Pip can fly again.
Oh, it's so
I know.
exciting!
That makes
I'm
me
so jealous.
so happy. Oh my god, this is why I picked a flying character. It's
Yeah.
like I must be able to fly. But yeah,
Tempting.
this been like this game is such a joy, and I adore it. And you guys are great. And Fraser, now on to you.
You were great too, Atlanta.
Thank you.
You are. Do I do my bit now?
Yes, go Fraser, go.
Okay. It's like I was waiting for the permission from Brian.
I
Can
have
can I
been
go?
usurped. Atlanta is now the narrator.
Please. So yeah, I have been Fraser, or I am Fraser. I go the words. I've forgotten how to do outros.
Social
Yeah.
media. Social media.
Social media,
Where
that's
can
it,
we find
yeah.
your art?
That's it. Thank you. So I'm Fraser. You can find me online and on Instagram and Twitter by lostastronaut. It's _lostastronaut on Instagram and _lostastronaut on Twitter. I will. At this point, I'm never going to get them sorted, so it's just how it is. Yeah, I've been playing Lutzen, and yeah, I think if anything, seeing Pip flying now has given Lutzen just ideas. I mean, obviously, seen flying things, but seeing the stages of healing and there's potential. Mech soup is happening, Brian, whether you want it or not.
Woodpunk mech.
Woodpunk. Oh my god, that's
Good
it.
genre.
But yes, no, thank you everyone thank you Ver and I keep wanting to say Alpaca, but Atlanta for playing either or it all works. This was fun. This was a really good episode, and thank you Brian for hosting and creating and running this. Yeah, thanks.
Amazing. Well, this is going to be goodbye from
Perfect.
us. We will see you guys next week, and hope you have a wonderful time of it. See you soon.
See you, everybody.
Bye. Okay, it's over.